Dedicated to Eastern and Southern Kentucky, this is WYMT Mountain News This Morning.
Good morning and a happy Thursday to you, Mountain family. I'm Amelia Lee here with you on this July 31st. We are just about at 5 o'clock this morning. And before we throw it to Megan this morning for a check of our weather, we just wanted to let you know we're having some technical difficulties, so bear with us this morning. But Megan, tell us what's going on for our Thursday.
Well, as you're heading out this morning, those temperatures are already sitting in the low 70s. Now, we will continue to warm up through the next couple hours, slightly cooler than yesterday. Now, that cold front will be moving in a little bit later than expected, so we're still going to be sitting in those low 90s for the day. Now, one thing that you need to be aware of is we are under a dense fog advisory for most counties in the WYMT viewing area, so make sure you are driving carefully as you are heading out the door. Now, in terms of rain, we're nice and clear, but what you'll notice as we head into the afternoon is we do have some chances for some sprinkle and storm activity. So that's what we have on our radar for the day. In the next 12 hours, though, you'll see those chances for rain accumulation be picking up as we're heading into the afternoon hours. Storm chances more likely as we're traveling into the evening. Amelia.
A Knott County man is dead after a lawnmower incident. Tuesday, Kentucky State Police received a call about that incident on Kentucky Highway south in the Kite area of Knott County. Troopers say 64-year-old Thomas Johnson lost control of his lawnmower, causing it to go over an embankment. The mower then overturned, resulting in Johnson being trapped underneath it. He was pronounced dead at the scene. The start of a new school year is weeks away, in some cases just a matter of days. Parents who are school shopping this year may have to deal with inflation and tariff prices in order to check off those school lists. Alyssa Williams talked to a single mom of two. She tells us she's shopped for one of her children and already exceeded her budget.
This is Linda Stevenson. She's a single mom of two Scott County students, Taylor Lewis, who's starting high school, and Tanner Lewis in middle school. School shopping for both isn't easy. At this point, she's purchased Tanner's school supply list.
My middle schooler's list was very minimal, not asking for a lot of items, but we still spent over $100 on one kid. That's one kid and one kid. I haven't even started for the second kid.
Stevenson says she's already exceeding her budget.
But with the new tariffs and the price jump of things, my budget is got to be revised a little bit.
According to the Writing Instrument Manufacturers Association, over half of all writing utensils are made overseas. Most of those are imported from China. And the tariffs do increase the prices of all these things.
Joel Wolford is the president of the Kentucky Education Association. He says not only parents, but 90% of educators come out of pocket for school supplies, spending on average close to $900 per school year. This while Kentucky teachers' overall pay rank is 42nd in the country.
And with inflation, with the prices of everything going up, their paycheck doesn't go as far.
Wolford says the price of school supplies have increased 9% since the pandemic. On the business side, Steve McClain with the Kentucky Retail Federation says stores are working in advance.
Order ahead, trying to beat any tariffs that may affect the prices.
For Stevenson and her budget, she says school shopping is like holiday shopping.
Christmas shopping in July, and Christmas with two girls is not cheap, and school supply shopping is getting really close to that.
In Lexington with photojournalist Darnell Crenshaw, Alyssa Williams, WKYT.
A Kentucky school district has issued a ban on some surprising items. Trigg County schools in southwestern Kentucky have banned students from bringing certain water bottles and binders. Some parents were surprised to learn about this new rule, some guessing it was to keep alcohol out of schools. But officials have shared this is to keep kids from bringing weapons or drugs into schools inside something that's generally seen as harmless.
How easy would that be to get that firearm in a school?
I mean, you could have anything from weapons, you can have drugs, you might see at the younger ages even different toys and things.
All these school shootings and stuff like that, I understand why they're doing it.
Trigg County schools have also banned binders that can be closed up with zippers for that same reason. Earlier this week, we told you when some schools in our area would be starting the new school year. Well, here are some more. Floyd County schools will be back in session on August 13th. The Owsley County School District will start their new year on August 7th, and those in Martin County begin on August 6th. We are working on a full list of back-to-school dates. You can find that on our website, WYMT.com. After days of high heat indices, we're finally getting a break. But that drop in temperatures may be bringing more than just relief across the Commonwealth. Carlin McCreary talks with a local allergist who says it could bring about a wave of symptoms.
Kentucky is no stranger to allergies throughout the seasons, especially as the weather changes. Nurse practitioner Amanda Reed has specialized in allergies for about 7 years, and she says she notices when the shift occurs without having to look outside.
When the temperature drops, it will dry out the nasal passages, and you will see an increase in allergen sensitivity. A lot of them will feel stopped up, that kind of thing, and a lot of them will take, your steroid nasal sprays and different things like that.
Allergists say that there are many different weather patterns that can cause our allergy symptoms to shift, even including the above average rainfall we've seen across the Bluegrass State. Patients who struggle with being allergic to weeds and molds are more commonly impacted when we get a change in rainfall. On the flip side, when we lack moisture across the region, it has a different impact.
When things increase and things get drier, especially with the humidity, it will dry out your nasal passages.
The temperature of the air isn't the only thing that affects our sinuses. As weather changes, barometric pressure changes will follow. Reed says that can also cause our allergies and sinuses to shift. Everyone's body adjusts to pressure changes differently, so when pressure affects our equilibrium, our body needs to stabilize.
It's kind of like, when you're riding in an airplane and you go through different temperature changes, you'll have like the air congestion because the pressure in the air does not stabilize.
With the high heat on the way out this week, your sinuses might be feeling the weather just as much as you are. In Lexington, Carlin McCreary, WKYT.
And allergists do say that over-the-counter antihistamines are effective in improving symptoms, but if you notice those symptoms worsening, contact your doctor. Several eastern Kentucky communities are mourning the loss of a longtime educator, coach, and gym owner. Don Harden of Warren County died this weekend from various health complications. He died just months after he and his wife moved into their new home. His family and friends tell us he was an educator in Fleming County for more than 40 years. That's where he also coached football. They say he created the American Legion baseball program in the 60s and opened a gymnastics gym in the 90s that's still up and running today.
He started that gym because all the boys had everything to do and the girls didn't. And he wanted the girls to have something.
He built Mower City Park here mostly. He headed that up. He built another community park. And all of it was in service to, youth and youth athletics.
Folks who knew him say they find peace in knowing his name will continue to be said for many generations. Don Harden's visitation will be Friday, August 8th from 5 to 8 at Northcutt Funeral Home. A second visitation will be taking place the following day from 11:30 to 1 at the Flemingsburg High School gym. His funeral will follow that second visitation. A magnitude 8.8 earthquake put much of the world on edge last night. This appears to be the strongest earthquake anywhere in the world since 2011. While the earthquake originated in Russia, people across the Pacific face tsunami warnings. To get a sense of just how powerful this earthquake was, it even registered on seismographs here in Kentucky.
We operate very sensitive seismometers. So even though people in Kentucky would not have felt this earthquake, our sensors can do that because they're so sensitive.
The earthquake off the coast of Russia was the strongest earthquake since the 9 earthquake in Japan 14 years ago. Kentucky Senator Mitch McConnell says the U.S. and its allies must continue to keep the pressure on Russia and its president, Vladimir Putin. Speaking at an event in Washington hosted by the McCain Institute yesterday, the former Senate GOP leader says Russia's invasion of Ukraine was a wake-up call about the threat Putin poses to the U.S. and its allies. He says he hopes President Donald Trump will look to past Republican examples like former President Ronald Reagan, look to achieve peace through strength.
The Reagan approach, the McCain approach, is the best way to avoid a conflict.
McConnell says he's encouraged by Trump's recent statement and actions. The president, who has at times taken a softer stance on Putin, recently threatened new sanctions if Russia does not end its war in Ukraine. The National Transportation Safety Board began a 3-day investigation hearing on January's deadly mid-air collision between an Army Black Hawk helicopter and an American Airlines regional jet as it approached Ronald Reagan Washington National Airport. NTSB Chair Jennifer Homendy addressed crash victims' loved ones attending Wednesday's hearing, saying the agency is doing all it can to find out what led to the air disaster. There were some tense moments as questions focused on the military helicopter's altitude and the busy airspace around Reagan National.
How much tolerance should we have for aviation safety whenever civilian lives are at risk?
Yes, sir. Safety is critically important.
No, I ask you, how much tolerance for safety should there be when civilian lives are at risk?
Sir, in terms of airspace separation, for how much separation should there be between aircraft that are using barometric altimeters?
No, you just told me, I believe, all of this equipment in this manufacturing process is within the tolerances for safety. How much is that tolerance? I think it should be 0.
67 people were killed aboard both aircraft, making it the deadliest U.S. aviation disaster in decades. The NTSB is examining several factors that may have led to the crash and may determine probable cause, but won't assign blame. Any final recommendations on how to make aviation safer are likely at least months away.